Are we doing enough to protect women in today's society? And I would argue no. I would argue we're not. I would argue we're going in the opposite direction of the direction that we should be going in. And here's why.
Female inmates being raped by male sex offenders who had conveniently declared themselves trans right before heading to prison. A boy in a dress sexually assaulting a girl in a Virginia school bathroom while administrators covered it up. Female cyclists losing titles to grown men who declared themselves trans and absconded with the prize money. A teenage volleyball player severely injured by a trans player who spiked the ball so hard the girl suffered permanent damage. An obvious male towering over his female competitors, ranked in the mid 500s as a male, annihilating women in race after race. The University of Pennsylvania female teammates who quietly objected were told they should seek therapy, forced to share a locker room with an intact male whose social media posts suggest he becomes sexually aroused by dressing like a woman, a common fetish among male to female trans people. The female swimmers were told, deal with it.
So, if you are opposed to someone who's dressing up and acting like something that they are not, they were not born as, they do not have the chromosomes to be, then you are the one who needs to seek therapy? That makes sense? Look at the chat. Every female in every level of sport should strike if a biological male is playing. Every time. And I agree 110%. I think once they trot a male out there, the women on that team and the women on the other team should exercise their right to not play that game. So I wouldn't say boycott every sport, but I would say the minute a male who's dressed as a female, who's masquerading around as a female, comes onto the court or to the field or whatever, all the women should just walk off. They should not play. They should not participate. We're not going to do it. So that's it. That's all there is to it. We're just not going to participate. Life was never this way until the last 2 years. I don't understand. How don't you understand? The Democrats are in office. That's why. The Democrats are in office. So the Democrats push this liberal agenda. That's what they do. Republicans push a more conservative agenda, which is a male and a female, mom and dad, husband and wife. The liberals push male and male, female and female, all this other stuff. Now the pedophilia thing is coming out. So Daniela says, thank you. America is out of control. Preach on. So let's let her preach on a little bit more.
Every instinctual alarm that went off about the dangers of sharing this vulnerable space with a man was stifled and rejected as bigoted by administrators who would never have to face these circumstances themselves. A few of the co-eds spoke anonymously in the press, revealing their distress over these events, but saying they feared losing future employment if they failed to keep their mouths shut. Riley Gaines stayed silent too, at first. A few weeks later, she found her voice, and when she did, she was attacked, physically assaulted by a trans activist on a college campus, threatened and shouted down, mocked for her tears, and forced by an angry mob into a back room. And she was not the only one. One by one, we met the detransitioners, those brave enough to admit their gender changes had been a mistake.
And we are going to highlight some of those too, the detransitioners, because this is crazy too. Say it louder, please, Lisa says. So we are going to say it as loud as we can. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's push this out. Let's stop this craziness. Stop this nonsense. It's all nonsense. It's literally insane, this user says. We are currently being led by mental patients. I would agree. Why doesn't the players refuse to play? I agree, Rebecca. They should all refuse to play.
These voices were promptly ignored or shamed. Kids who were just unhappy, anxious, or perhaps on the autism spectrum had been rushed to transition by a system that seemed more about a political agenda than about addressing the patient's mental health. Professional psychiatric associations adopting gender-confirming care as the only acceptable option for children suffering any hint of gender confusion. Hospitals bragging about how much cash they were making on cross-gender procedures, including on teenagers. top surgery, in which their breasts were amputated before their 16th birthday,
Crazy.
forever eliminating their ability to breastfeed.
Crazy.
Kids pumped full of puberty blockers and then cross-sex hormones rendered sterile and incapable of ever reaching sexual climax. Pictures online of young women's gutted forearms, where flesh was harvested to build a grotesque, phony phallus.
I've seen those pictures. I've seen them. If you want to see pictures of the deformity that's taken place, get on Twitter. Get on Twitter and type up any type of trans surgery, stuff like that, top surgery, bottom surgery. You'll see the scars, and you'll see why most of us are so adamant about this stopping. And they are the things that they're doing to adults, they're also doing to children. It's so freaking crazy. It's so rough. Thank you so much for your voice. We need many more of you. So I'm on here. And I think there are more people that are coming. I praise God. I work in a school district that refuses to allow this nonsense. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the key word. Ding, ding, nonsense. Now, I want to know where this school system is, this school district, because I would like to highlight them. I would like them to applaud them, give them a pat on the back for not drinking the woke Kool-Aid. Thank you for not drinking the woke Kool-Aid. And thank you for everyone else who is in full support of this video. Thank you, guys.